Hello, guys. Wait a couple of minutes for the meeting to be started. Have your patience. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, David. Hi, everyone.
Sure.
Let's wait for a minute to talk to join, and then we'll start in a bit. So we are still getting the guest invitation. Let's wait for 2 minutes, and then we'll start. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me? If you guys can hear me, please thumbs up.
I can hear you, Ash.
Yes, we can hear you, but
Yeah.
I can hear everyone who's speaking. I can't see anyone. A number of people have their microphones turned off. I see.
Hey, David. Hey, everybody. We'll be starting in 1 more minute.
Okay, I think we have spent quite a time for our guest to join. Let's get started. We will, since we have all of our participants here, let's start. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen, Ashis.
And not yet. Here you go. Yes. Thank you, Sergio. Can say it.
Okay. So, good evening, good good evening in Nepal, good afternoon in Canada, and namaste. I am Syogeman Bonepali, a business development manager here in Dlytica Inc. And on behalf of Dlytica team, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone on our first webinar. Thank you for your support. I hope you are having a great weekend, and there will be a few takeaways from this webinar that is actionable insight for your IT career. Let's start the presentation. This webinar is under the Leading to AI series. We will be having more series on this. It is brought to you by Dlytica Inc. Dlytica Inc. is a data, cloud, and AI company. We are a proud cloud partners with AWS, Azure, and GCP. Moving on to the agendas for today, we'll have around 60 minutes of webinar, out of which 30 minutes or more will be for Q&A because our target audience are more of us students and the working profession here. We will wrap up our presentation in about 25 to 30 minutes. We'll first start with the introduction of Dlytica, who we are and all. Second, we'll have two speakers. The first one is Ashis Parajuli, and the second one is Nitesh Regmi. They have 10 plus years of experience in IT field in all around the world. And there is a small, short and sweet journey of me as a student in Canada. I'm currently pursuing my second PG course here. And there are some few burning questions that we would like to cover in our webinar, which we'll discuss later. Moving on to our Dlytica slide. So as I said, Dlytica is a data, cloud, and AI company registered in Canada, but we have a office in 3 countries, that is in USA, here in Toronto, and in Nepal. Our vision of Dlytica is to pioneer possibilities at the nexus of data, cloud, and AI. Our mission is to empower enterprises with intelligent insights, enabling them to navigate complexities, make informed decisions, and achieve transformative growth through a data-driven AI approach. There are some few takeaways from this webinar. This might be that what should be your career path to AI, to IT and AI field specifically. The other takeaway can be what are the mistakes that we observe as a recruiter or as a colleague in other in a lot of companies who for the IT experience or even the experienced people who want to switch the career from one IT subdomain to another subdomain. So let's start. Um, so I would like to invite my first speaker. He is Ashis Parajuli. He is currently a VP of AI in Dlytica Inc. He likes to help business to be data, cloud, and AI driven. A little bit background of him, as there are a lot of students who wants to come to Canada or who are still in Canada trying to pursue a career in IT. So Asis moved to Canada for 4 years back in work permit, but the good thing is he already got the job as data solution architect from Nepal itself, even before landing to Canada. So once he was settled here, he uh, thought of uh, establishing his one company, which is called Dlytica Inc. And it's a as I said, it's a Canadian registered company which is operating in 3 different countries right now. So my first question for us is would be like this. So what IT leaders like you expect from the candidate or IT aspirants like us? So, what are the key things that you look for? As is the floor is yours.
Thank you, Suyagya. Everybody, welcome to our exciting webinar session today. Uh, we are addressing your questions and concerns you might be getting in, and we'll be guiding you to the with a few tips how you want to pursue your career, IT career in Canada, or if you even if you're already in Canada or you are somewhere else in the world that you are pursuing or targeting to come to. So just to start with, being an IT, like it's a technology field, like very first thing is you should have the skills. The technical expertise is what's very important. But side by side, being a leader, like we want to have people to be fitted in a culture, and we want them to be proactive, or they are more capable of handling the meetings. They're capable of handling the solutions, and for that, we definitely need the soft skills as well. So very top priority is a hard, like the technical skills, and then the soft skills comes under. Um, but these are the few key components that we usually expect, or any companies out there expecting people. But definitely problem solving skill is the important as well. But very first thing, you have to have a foundational skill.
Yes, thank you, Asis. I think I can see what like I can tell about my experience wherein Nepalese people are really very good at technical skills, but coming to a soft skill when they try to convey what they are doing or what they did in their past, I think it's very hard for us to articulate that fast. That is the first point. And the second thing is the Canadian person or the person who is taking an interview actually cannot get the thing that we are saying, right? Sometimes the tone or the accent matters, I think. So that's what we need to build the soft skill as well, along with the technical skill. So thank you for that answer, Ansis. So I have another question for you. Are there any suggestion for IT aspiring candidate to even start or switch to IT career?
Yes, so that's really important question. Um, the suggestion, I can say there are few takeaways that you can take from today's session as well. So I think the first thing, like I said, I already mentioned about the building your skills. That's important thing. And another thing is you have to sell the skill. You have to be a salesperson of yourself. You are a product. You need to sell yourself. So now say something that, like, if you're planning to sell something to somebody, imagine how you portray that product. what are the benefits, that how you portray that benefits of that product to other people. So it's exactly like that. So for that, like I said, build the skills, but for that skills to be portrayed in the market, or for that skills to be stand out in the market or among the crowd, right? Like usually in company we usually get hundreds of resume. If we post a jobs, we get like around more than 100, usually hundreds of resume for sure in any job. So imagine like you are applying for a job and you are thinking like you are not invited for an interview, or you are not invited, or you are not selected for a job. The reason could be you are not selling yourself properly, so you are not building your resume. Like the important thing is customize your resume in such a way that business is expecting. And you portray if you have any certifications, attend any trainings or certifications, and uh, maybe you have experiences, they already have experiences in maybe back country. If you already have experiences, try to put that into resume. um, and if you have a internship already, if you already have done internship, if you're already doing some sort of certifications, portray that into resume and stand out yourself among the crowd. That's really important. And definitely if you are pursuing IT career in Canada, like before coming to Canada, if you can have those skill sets in hand as a foundational knowledge, and gain some sort of certifications or experience before you come to Canada. Or if not, you are coming as a fresher, then here you try to target your career. You try to target on your focused careers, like what you are targeting. You want to become a full stack developer, you want to be a data engineer, you want to be a data architect or data scientist, and so on. Like if you are not like focused on your target career, you never get chance. So for that, I suggest you to be open-minded, open for any help. You ask for feedbacks, you build your resume, and you keep networking to people that they're already working on in the similar field, and ask how to pursue, how to go, how to apply. And the very important thing is keep applying. Never never get tired of it. Apply and apply. But the important thing is have a skill sets and sell it the way you can.
Yeah, so I can totally relate to this thing. I was very intentional about my field job, even when I was doing my survival job, let's say a farm job 1 years back. I can remember that moment, even it's vividly, so vividly in my mind that I said that I will go to I'll change my field in next year. Next year will not be like this, and I think there should be a support system for that, and there should be a process of it, right? So the obviously, like you said, the networking is the key. uh, just networking won't do cut it, because you need to have skills, and skills can be shown in certificate as well. Especially in the North America, they prefer the skilled one, the certified one. And that's where Dlytica is actually finding someone who wants to change the career and guide them throughout their journey, right? So that's a great answer, Asis. I have a third question for you, yeah, which is very relevant, so like I said, I was coming in a student, but I have experience back home, right? But the mistake that I was doing was, I have said with you as well, that it was a resume mistake. It was the way I approached the person in the LinkedIn, right? So what are the few key mistakes that we should avoid as a candidate, or even the person who wants to start a career? How do he navigate to that land, and what should be the mistakes that he should avoid?
Yep, definitely. That's another important thing, that if you are coming to Canada, or if you are already in Canada, like I said, building skills is important. But imagine what if you are in a trap that you have to sustain yourself first, and then think about your career. That could be a situation. I can imagine we have seen a lot of situations where students are struggling on that. For that, what you need to do is try not to focus or try not to focus 100% into that, or try not to focus on shortcuts of earning money, and think of like just not think about a temporary solution. Yes, you have to sustain yourself, but just to be sustained. That if you are working in a farm jobs, if you are working in the restaurants, if you are working in any blue collar jobs, like think about you are doing that just to sustain, but eventually you have to come to a technology field. Eventually you have to be in a field. So having that in mind, what you have to think is, you should learn, you should keep learning, you should have the continuous learning attitude. You should never leave the gap in learning. So imagine, we have seen a lot of situations where I can see people from back in country, they have a 5 to 6 years of experience, or maybe 2 years of experience, or maybe even 10 years of experience. They come to Canada as a students. Usually we see that they study for 2 years of program as a maybe postgraduate. They study for postgraduate program, but within two years of course, what they do is they forget they don't practice. IT is something like it keeps booming every day. It keeps changing. It's a changing thing. So if you don't practice yourself, or don't keep engaging yourself in technology, and don't keep yourself in the technology updates, you are deprecated. It's like a softwares. Like if you are not updating, the software is get deprecated in the software world. It's like that. You have to keep updating yourself, upgrading yourself, keep up to date with what's coming in technology, and keep doing the projects. So a way could be for that is like, maybe if you get any opportunity to get certifications, like there's a lot of Amazon certifications, Microsoft certification, Google Cloud certifications, that stands out yourself, and you that keeps your momentum there. It doesn't let you stay in a while, and within 2 years you forgot everything, and you have earned a lot of money as well. Even going with a fine, you could earn money, but you could not earn that much of money. You are sufficient, and you are never get satisfied with what you are earning or what you are getting. So the important thing is to get the momentum. You have to continue learning. So for that, like if you get any internship opportunities, maybe it could be free of cost, or maybe it costs you around for the trainings and so on. Go for training, go for certifications, go for internship. And a lot of mistakes, like in terms of mistakes, I see that a lot of people come to Canada and like they have a co-op in their courses. What they do is they buy the co-op certificate from somewhere else, and they instead they go to farm jobs. That doesn't work out. That you are killing yourself, or you are killing your career yourself. That's a real mistake that I see a lot of people doing. So for that, so what you do instead is maybe apply for one job, two jobs, maybe never get tired of doing that. To apply hundreds of jobs, and if you get any opportunities around, ask for network. Ask for a network. If they are already working in Canada, they already have jobs or companies in Canada. Ask them to, maybe you can volunteer them. You can do free of cost. That's okay, as long as if you are grooming yourself and you are preparing yourself, then you are into it. Because IT jobs in Canada, you don't get jobs while you are studying, because you are a part-time. And usually company don't hire for the part-times. Usually, I'm saying, not always, but usually they don't hire part-time students in a IT company as a project. But if they have some opportunities like internships and so on, they could do that. And even we are doing it in Dlytica as well. So I think that's the important thing. And before coming to Canada, like the way you are getting certificates, like getting the driving license, right? People are saying, hey, you need to get the driving license before come to Canada. It makes your life easier. You need to get the barista coffee certification before you come to Canada, or do things like that, right? But why don't you get the ID certifications, ID experience before you come to Canada? That's, nobody tells you that, right? That's important. So I think these are the few mistakes that I see here, and you should focus on. So very important thing, like I said, is never miss the gap.
Thank you, Ashis. I think, yeah, I think all of us can relate to this mistake that you have pointed out. One of the things that I face, or I did before, was the not to not to focus on the foundation. So let's say if you want to be if you want to go to the buzzword like AI engineer, ML engineer, right? But the foundation should be there, right? You should know the data, you should know the data science terminologies, right? I think thus building the foundation is actually what is lacking in the current candidate that we are seeing, wherein you cannot, it is not just like plug and play and then you'll get in a day, right? It's all about the career path and the guidance that you need, and that's what I find Dlytica differently, wherein it's not just a certification or a training that you get. It's about a roadmap from point A to point B. You should have a plan, you should have a process. It's not just setting a goal. So that's something that I
I completely agree on Suyagya's point that having a foundation is really important if you want to be a software developer. Like at least having a programming language, maybe a Python, start with basics of Python, or at least start with a Java or basics of programming, and maybe SQL basics. These are the two foundational skills. And in this current cloud era, cloud and AI era right now, having a cloud basic, even foundational skills in cloud is important. So if you have a foundational skills, it keeps growing. Like you get yourself into that field growing. So eventually you'll be there. But without foundation, you cannot do anything. So that's important, and it's not the thing that you can do it overnight. That's that's
yes.
right, Suyagya. Yeah.
I totally concur on that. So two quick note update for you guys. We have multiple polls going on in the chat. If you are interested, please participate on it so that we can curate our answers accordingly. Another thing is I forgot to mention that we will have a Q&A session that time, but that doesn't mean that you cannot ask a question. You can drop your question right away in the chat box, and then we'll take it in the Q&A session. Thank you, Asis, for the informative lesson for us. Now moving on to the next speaker, we have Nitesh Regmi, and he is also an interesting guy. He works as a senior data engineer in one of the top company in USA/Canada right now. He's a Microsoft certified data Azure data engineer. A little bit background about him. He also secured a senior data engineer job from Nepal itself prior to Canada. He also has 7 years of experience in data and AI field. Um, I think he will address some of the work permit or how to move to Canada, even if you don't want to pursue a student life. I think he can relate to that aspect as well. So Nitesh, take it away.
Thank you, Surya. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. So, my name is Nitesh Sengmi. I'm working as senior consultant at Video Canada, solving different clients. I've been working on helping them in achieving their goals with the data that they have by providing them the solution on cloud-based data-driven architecture and implementing them. So as you already know, this presentation is specific to how to pursue career in IT in Canada. So I will basically explain two different scenarios. So for this, so for example, you are in Nepal or any other country except Canada. So, and you want to migrate to Canada as an IT engineer. So for this, you have to get the work permit from any IT company in Canada, and they will help you in the application process. The chance of getting visa through this process is very high, and the expenses is very low. To get the work permit, you have two different ways. So first one will be through the social platform like LinkedIn. You apply for the job, the company will invite you for the interview. You pass the interview, you got selected. After some time, they will provide you the LMIA and help you in the application process. After you migrate to Canada, you have the IT job and you can continue your career. The second way is through the recommendation. So recommendation by your friends or families who are here in Canada and already working on any IT company in Canada. The company will invite you for the interview. The same process. You will have to face the interview. You have to pass the interview, and after you got selected, the company will send you the LMIA and help you in the application process. After you migrate to Canada, you have you have an IT job and you can continue your career. The chances of getting the job through the recommendation is very high. I'm one example who have migrated to Canada through the recommendation through one of my friends who is here with us. But for this, you have to be highly skilled. The advantages of this process is like you already have a job of your choice in Canada, and it's easy to settle here in Canada. Your application process will be handled by the company itself, and it is very cheap than the student visa. The second one is like you are here in Canada in student visa and you are still studying or already completed your 2 years of postgraduate or master's in IT specific field. In IT also must specific to data. For this also you apply for the job either through the social platform like LinkedIn or get the recommendation from your friends who are already working on Canada. Now, if you are skilled, then you'll pass the interview and get the job. But if you did not pass or if you did not have enough knowledge that is required for the interview, then so this is the main problem. So Dlytica is here for you to help you train in data specific domain to help you achieve your goal in IT career. Dlytica is providing you the courses which you can enroll yourself while you are studying or after you study for a specific period in cloud-based like Azure, Microsoft, Google Cloud data ecosystem. As many of the company are working with cloud in creating data-driven framework, it will boost your confidence and help you in the interview process and you can continue your IT dream. So yeah, that's all for this slide and to you, Suya.
Thank you, Nitesh. I think yeah, I can relate to that. Like even um once you like there are so many people who are in work permit, especially in this 2 years, right? Like in the spouse visa where they are coming in the work permit and they are struck with the survival job again. And actually it really is frustrating for those guys, right? Like I have many friends who are working in a big company in back in Nepal and then coming to Canada, it actually limit him or her in this small framework again. I think Dlytica or any company should actually empower them to switch their career to the domain expert or whatever they were doing before coming to Canada. And I think there is a path, there is a hope, and we are actually trying to fill that gap from Dlytica. So thank you. Moving to the next question. We since we are a data and AI company, I think data is again a heart of it. So I would like you to explain about the data career in Canada, since you are working as a data engineer in top company. So here's my question: how do you navigate your data career in Canada?
Thank you, sir. So yeah, so talking about the 6 different data specific fields, in any data specific project, you'll have 6 different group of people working. So the first one will be the business analyst. So analysts work close with clients. So they understand what client expect from their data and help them in achieving that. They will work closely with the client and data analyst to extract the business insights from the data. Business analysts should have good and proper communication skills and better domain knowledge. They may or may not require the technical skills. So the second one is data analyst. So data analysts work with business analysts to help to find what we can get from the data and technically verify it. So they will create the business logic and help data engineer to implement the business logic on the client data. So they should have good technical skills in Python and SQL. So in these kind of languages. So the third and the main one will be the data architect. So data architect basically collaborate with DevOps and data engineer to design the solution. So and that solution will be used by the data engineer uh, to achieve the data driven output. So the fourth one will be the DevOps. So DevOps collaborate with architect and data engineer to design the infrastructure as a code for deployment of the resources used by the data engineer. So the fifth one is the data engineer. So data engineer create, maintain, and implement the ETL pipelines and implement the business logic to achieve the gold standard data. So that will be the final good data. So they migrate the data from different sources, maintain the infrastructure used for migrating the data, and implement the logic on those data to serve the end user. which are reporting user and data scientist. So they should have high skill technical knowledge in Python, SQL, and cloud-based services. The sixth one will be the data scientist. So data scientist works on the final data generated by the data engineer. Data science include like creating AI and machine learning model. So you can choose any of above six fields to continue your data specific IT career. If you want my advice, I would recommend you to go for data architect, data engineering, or data science fields, as it is the most demanding fields right now. So, it's up to you. I hope this helped you a lot. Best of luck and thank you.
Thank you, Nikas, for the informative answer. I think, yeah, I can relate to this because I was a CRM developer, Salesforce developer back in 2016 when I started my journey. I was a software developer basically, and that was the time when the AI hype was going on. The data scientist was a 21st sexiest job, right? And then I explored the path of the data, and these are the options that time as well. And now the data engineer and this other DevOps has come up, taken the hype, right? And there will always be the new trend that's coming up, right? But the only thing I emphasize again is the basis of it. Go to the basic first, and then you can build on top of it, because technology is always catching up. We should be in the place that you, whatever comes in, you should be able to understand it in maybe or 2 or 3 certifications, right? Or 2 or 3 months of certification. That's what Dlytica actually excel on. Let's say you are a software engineer or a web developer. Now you want to now you want to pursue a career in data engineering field. So how will you do it? That's where you should get a certification. Why certification again? Because it gives you a basic of it. It doesn't give you right away that you can build a pipeline right away, but at least you'll get the basic out of it. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel all over again now, because there is a state of art thing already built by a massive Microsoft or Amazon, right? You just need to know how to do it. So I think certification will lead or give you the tools to do it, and you can explore the use case on top of it, right? So thank you so much. Now I'll go to the next slide. There are multiple polls going on, and please, I would highly suggest you to participate on that one as well. Um, so this slide talks about me. I have already said few words on it, but still, I have put this slide as a placeholder for someone. Like I said, the person who wants to switch to IT career, even if they don't have the IT background back home. So the thing is, always believe in process than a goal. If you have a process, you can achieve any goal, right? So this is my process. If you see, 1 year back, I met a guy in a networking event that turned into an opportunity for me because I was open. And in the process, as you said, as you know, student life has 3 parts of it. One is college life, second is survival job, right? And third is working for the dream. So I had that hustler mind wherein I used to work maybe 18 hours, right? And I used to divide the thing. So how do you, even if you have a hustler mind, you need to have a tools, right? And the time management is one of the best thing you should have. Otherwise it's very difficult. So I used to manage the time. How do you divide that 18 hours, right? So that's what I did. And I found, the thing is, again, I want to have a support system around me, so that I know, even if I'm climbing the ladder, that is the right ladder that I want to go, right? So I want a career guidance. How do I get that? So I was networking and got to know about the Dlytica training. So how different is this Dlytica training with the, let's say, Microsoft Azure training, right? So this training is all about assessment. The thing is, like I told you, I want to shift to a data field. So how do I do that? Right? So there are certain steps you have to do, so that transition is smooth. And again, one more thing, um you don't need to spend the whole time like a full-time employee, full time in the training. It is kind of part-time job, right? So I think that's where I got a co-op, luckily, in Dlytica itself. I did my co-op there, training there, and now I'm working as a business analyst in my one field, even in Dlytica, in my second year of PG itself. So that's the journey that I want to share with you. And this the message here, the gist of this is, yes, you can come to IT field, you can pursue your dream. Actually, there is a way. That's what it's all about. Moving on to Q&A session. So we have a couple of questions in our chat window, and even if anyone wants to speak, please raise your hand, or you can type it, or we can unmute you, or just unmute and ask the question, so our speakers will be able to answer that. Thank you. So I would like to start with one question that has been asked by Rajiv. How can I get those certificates? I am a student in Canada. I have my part-time job and academics to take care of. Is it still possible to manage time for additional certificate? So Ashish or Nitish, anyone can take this question.
Yeah, let me take this question. Regarding the certificates, Rajiv, it's about, like just a small fraction of time that you have to allocate for. So if you are willing to get the job, if you are willing to get the job into a targeted field, then I think you should be able to allocate that time. Like sometime we just spend time going for outing, or maybe going for a farm job. Let's say, imagine you have to calculate the risk. Let's say, what if you cannot go for 2 days farm job? Instead, you focus that time, you look at that 10 hours or 20 hours of time into certification. Imagine you have 20 hours of time to study and target attempt for exam. You have to calculate the risk of not going. Let's say you will be end up losing two days of money, but you are investing it actually. You're investing into the right thing. So you have to weigh pros and cons, like what it matters most and what you're heading to. I think you should be, with that question, I think it should be able to answer what you are looking for. It's all about time management, and what you are prioritizing for.
Yes, you can always connect to us in our LinkedIn or any in our website, so that we can, give you a individual customized assessment report to you, so that you can follow that path and then just start your journey. We have
Definitely.
another
One thing I
interesting.
want to add, one
Sure.
more thing on that. Sorry, Swega. So I was thinking that that question is interesting, and also like there could be a situation where you have to like there are on-demand courses and there are live courses. There are live courses that gives you flexibility to study on your timelines. Let's say you usually don't go to work on one of the days in a week. It, like you need to find out an opportunity in the market if there are any training centers that provides you the training on your off days or in your flexibilities. Or you could even collect a group of people and um, like try to request for a course. Maybe a group of 2 or 3 might be sufficient for some other companies to request for. Maybe, hey, you can talk to training centers or IT companies out there. Hey, is there any possibility that you could help us in giving us training in our flexible time? Yeah, if that's the case, why not? And even there could be some on demand courses you could attend for. I think that way you could be able to manage the time.
Yes, for sure. So I would like to ask a question as well, but I'll give the answer myself and I'll ask you guys. So regarding the refer, right? Also, many of my friends will, who has working in the IT field, came here and asked me, "Hey, can you refer to me for this company?" Right? So the answer to this is twofold. First thing is, how do I assess your knowledge, right? The first thing is, how do I assess a knowledge, like, are you a right candidate or not, before I even refer? The second thing is, uh, so there are so many instances wherein you cannot refer at all, because there you are putting your image there, right? It's all about the respect that you got after that. um so the thing is, there should be a funnel of it. There should be a funnel for this. The right way of this is, again, like, let's say a guy in a person in Nepal is asking me this question: can I get a field job after I land there as a student or maybe a work permit? The answer is this one. If you see the diagram, I think a quick training or assessment should be done before we even proceed further. I think, like I said, I'm a software engineer back home, but I want to do this one, right? The Canada market is hot in this thing, so we should have a customized, personalized training consultation for you, not just training. So if you are a experienced person, you don't need to have 3 months of training. You just need a refresher, right? Kind of a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks of refresher, so that then the recruiter parts will come in. So the recruiter always asks for the certification here. Its certification is so huge here, especially in the cloud. As per our survey, Azure is the major player. 95% of them use Microsoft here, because of some reason. But so that's what they. So let's say they want a cloud engineer. So what will they look for, right? So that's another thing that you need to look into. And so another thing, again, so you have experience back home for 6 years, right? I have that. But here they said you don't have any experience at all here. So Canadian experience is a big thing, guys, big thing. So this program is actually target for those internship or the project with the Canadian registered company, that is Dlytica. If you can work with us for even for 3 months or 6 months, get it done, get the basic right, and get the Canadian experience, then I think we can guarantee, not guarantee, but we can almost say that you can go to any recruiter and say, this is what I've done, this is my background, this is what I've done in Canada. So that way you can go, you'll get to learn the Canadian experience as well as the sign from your background as well. And after all this, what is the purpose, right? The purpose is creating a leading to AI community wherein you can come and ask the question again. You'll have a mentors there to guide you again in the career path. So this is a kind of a circle that we have created, and a community for that. So that's about it. Ashish or Nitish, do you want to add anything on that?
I think a quick note is like, here we are talking about training, but it's not just about training that you usually get in training center. It's about that we usually need resources to work for our clients, and it's pretty hard, like, just to let you know, it's pretty hard to find the technical talents in Canada. It's quite sad. Not just in Canada, it's everywhere. It's happening the same. It's quite hard to get talent people. So what we usually company do is, like, we try to train ourselves, we try to groom ourselves, and let be prepare them for our projects, prepare them for our clients. So the training is on job training usually we do. It's not just like a training center that you do the training and get certification. It's on the job training, and on the job internship. It's an internship pathways to internship program, and eventually we'd like to hire you in our company, or we like to make you ready so that other companies out there, we have a lot of staffing companies in as a partner, and we have a lot of other IT companies as a partner that we would like to help you to get in there. That's what we help you to just to bridge the gap. So ideally, ultimate our goal is to get the best candidate out of there.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you can be the best actually. So, changing the gear to another question. Pooja Banti has a question here. That's very interesting, actually. I'm pursuing my education in data science here. I think that's Canada, I guess. I really want to get into the data science, but my mathematical knowledge is not excellent. I think while we come to the situation to modify machine learning models, I might go through the math. I have strong foundation of programming. I have knowledge about basic data science implementation. I'm afraid that while working in a real-time project, I have to go with math. How can I improve my math for data science? Ashis, you want to take this?
Yes, sure. That's a really interesting question, and I see that's the first year question everybody was targeting go to AI and data science field. Like I was also the from the background that um, like we did the engineering, we did IT or whatever we did. I did the computer engineering. So from my background, so what I found out is in academic mathematics, it's kind of academic mathematics. You know, like your teacher comes in and just help you to play around with the formulas. And it's not the real mathematics that you do in data science. Mathematics is something that correlates to business, that correlates to data. And initially, I was also thinking so while I was starting, and I was feeling like it's quite challenging to start mathematics. But later, I realized when I start connecting the dots with the use cases, mathematics is fun. Actually, lot of impression, like a lot of people were impressed by Andrew Ng. I don't know how many people of like about Andrew Ng. There were a lot of people who were fascinated by that people, and they were motivated to go to mathematics because the way he treats mathematics was interesting, and even you could see some animated kind of videos and so on. But it's data science is not all about mathematics. It's about your I can say analytical mind and connecting the dots. That's it. So basically, like you said, if you have a programming foundation, that's really interesting. And you should also build the SQL foundation. And mathematics is something that you do along with the journey. It's not something that you particularly need to study the math books and you particularly need to learn the formula and play around with the formula. It's not that. These days there are a lot of libraries like TensorFlows, PyTorch, and so even there are a lot of wrappers on the top of that coming up. Those wrappers don't let you even go to the mathematical formulas. Then usually you need to be able to use those to the use cases. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, great answer. Oh, we have another question from Ritesh here. I don't have prior experience in data analysis. How do I start my data career? As I think he wants to switch the career to data analyst field. So I think Nitesh ji will be helpful. Will be the person to answer this, I think.
Okay, so okay, can you repeat that question again? Sorry.
How do I start my journey as a data analyst if I don't have prior experience in data analyst field?
Okay, so it depends. Like if you have some experience or some knowledge on like programming or not. So to be a data analyst, you should have some knowledge on SQL. So you can start it by learning some SQL. So or you can also start by getting some certification. So basically one question I want to add here. So basically, like for example, you are a fresher and you are creating a resume for the job. So as you are a fresher, you don't have any experience in working in any company to add that in the resume. So experience is not working in the company, but experience is also having the certification and training also is a kind of experience. So if you want to switch your career to the data analyst, so the first one will be like having some certification or having some. So you can start by learning by yourself also. So you can have some knowledge on SQL, and you can start by like having taking some training, and yeah, you can go on like that also.
Yeah. So yeah, starting again with the basic. The good thing is if you have experience in IT itself, it won't take much to switch actually, because the whole mess about all this thing is to get the knowledge right from the start, right? If you let's say I'm a computer engineer myself, and even if I have to go to any other domain from, let's say, from AI to IoT, now I have the foundation right there. So it will not take much time to go to any data field, especially. um, you just need a guidance, and if you need further information, you can just ping us in our LinkedIn or just email us. We'll
I
be
want
able
to
to help you.
I
Yeah.
want to add something there as well. I was always interested in big data while I was in colleges. I wanted to Hadoop, I wanted to big data, I wanted to AI, some sort of stuff while I was in college. But there were no lot of companies out there in the market to give me that opportunity, and it was not that easy to enter the market, because every company, like every company, they want you to be they want you to have some experience on before they even hire you. So it's pretty hard. I mean, even it's like a chicken egg problem. To have experience, they need to give you opportunity first. But to get the experience, you need to get hired. Like they never hire you actually. But actually, there should be some definitely a lot of companies out there in the market. They will be helping you to bridge the gap. But the point I was taking a note is about, um, I was also coming from the that background where I wanted to do big data, but I ended up doing Android application. I started building Android application. I ended up doing the web development. I used to be a Spring Java developer. I did those backgrounds, but eventually what it helped me is, like, it helped me to build the programming foundation. It helped me to build the at least the SQL knowledge, database knowledge, and the software ecosystem. As long as you have the software ecosystem, that gives you a luxury to mold yourself into any domain. So even in data science and AI, anything, the foundation is the programming language and the having the knowledge in that field. So uh, so later, in a side by side, while I was doing Android application and web application, I was doing myself. I was craving myself into the AI, and I was doing, sorry, data science, big data tools, and so on. I was doing paid projects. I was involved in the communities, and I was involved with the tech leaders around, and I was trying to get myself into pace. So that helped me to get some experience out myself in some paid projects and so on. I applied for a job, and I got an opportunity to then I was able to portray myself. Hey, I have some experience on, not may not be industry experience, but with some my personal experience, I have done this project. I showcased them the project, and they gave me an opportunity to work as a data engineer, and that's how I entered into data engineering world. And later I became the data architect, and I started coming up to that ladder. So I think the journey is everyone is having the same journey. If you are switching your IT career to something else in data and AI, like as it's booming, everybody wants to do that. But eventually, don't stop yourself in a point where neither you do data and AI nor you do the software engineering. But at least start with software engineering, have your foundation, and you are always ready to go everywhere.
Yes, thank you, Ashis. I hope we are almost at the end of the time. I think we already have 5 questions, so let's keep it short and sweet from the upcoming questions now. So, what are the tips you suggest for recent graduates in making resumes and getting interviewed as fresher who don't have any Canadian experience? Rajanji asked this question. It's about the resume building and getting the interviews round.
Yeah, so
So,
I will take that one. Sorry,
sure,
Ashish.
sure.
Sure,
Yeah, I will take
sure,
that.
Nitish.
Yeah, I will take that one. So, so as I already told you, like you are a freshers and you are creating a resume for the job. So so every company will want to have you the experience, but you are a fresher and you don't have the experience. So there's nothing to add on the resume. So you have to think that experience is not only working in the company, but you have to train yourself. You have to have some certification, you have to have some basic knowledge, skills. That is also a kind of experience. That is a self-learned experience. So you don't need to be working on a company. So so basically like every company will consider that. So if you have some experience, sorry, if you have some certification, if you have some training, so add that in the resume. That will work like experience. So I think I saw like most of the question is like switching to career and everything like that. So the answer to that is like have some basic knowledge, so, and have some certification, have some training, and that will help you. That will 100% help you. Thank you.
Yes. So So I have another question. I think we have already answered the Arvin's question wherein he said, how do I start a career as a data engineer? So we'll go to the other question. We have a interesting question from Swapnil. I have a question regarding the pricing and duration options 6, 3, 6, and 12 months. Additionally, I would appreciate information on the time requirement for the training. So Swapnil, I think you can connect with us in the LinkedIn and we will talk about give you more information on this one. Because of the time constraint, we will not be able to answer it fully here. Moving on to the next question, what are the key expectations for someone willing to work as a data analyst or possible intern as data analyst within first few months in your company? So that's Dlytica. So curious to know what actually one should have as a fresher. I think Ashis, I can quickly answer this question. How what are the key expectations from an intern as a data analyst in our company?
Okay, so I will quickly answer this question. So maybe applicable for a lot of other fields as well, not just data analytics. So basically, the key ingredient I want to start with the data analytics is the like I said, SQL is very important for data analytics. If we have a Python programming language, that would be better as well. But usually having SQL, and if you have any BI tools in the market that are popular in market like Power BI or Tableau, that would be really helpful. But having at least having SQL knowledge and BI tools is really important in your case. And some analytical, being the analytics term itself mentioned that your mind should be analytical and you should have domain knowledge. So usually, if let's say if you are intending to work in a banking domain, then at least you should have understanding of how the banking domain works. Usually data science and data analytics are more focused towards the domain knowledge, whereas data engineer is focused towards the tools and technologies more, and DevOps is more towards the, like, definitely like Tom itself said, DevOps, like deployment and stuffs. Um, uh, yeah, I think that answered a lot of questions. So being a fresher, if you like to work in a company, we at least if you have some, maybe to stand out among the lot of resumes out there, you need to have, maybe we see how proactive you are. Let's say while you are pursuing your big data and analytics or AI or some sort of program in Canada, we see, or maybe even any courses, we see your proactiveness. Are you doing really some sort of certification in cloud, let's say? Are you doing some sort of certification in web development? Sorry, maybe doing some sort of paid projects. Are you listing down in your resumes? So maybe if you don't have experience, like even to answer all your question, if you don't have experience in a real experience, company experience, maybe list down the paid projects that you have done. Maybe list down the paid projects or some of the projects that you contributed to somewhere, or maybe list down some of the projects that you did during the college projects. If the project seems interesting, if you are portraying what you are doing, that stand out among the list of resumes. Instead, in resumes, we don't want your date of birth, we don't want your father name, mother name, where you grew and so on. We don't care about that. We care about what your skills are, what you are expertise in, and what you are trying to do, and what are your proactiveness in your intended career. I think that
Yeah,
answers the questions. Maybe one quick question. Somebody is raising a hand. I want to give the opportunity to talk somebody just to motivate. I know we have a lot of questions as well, but can we give them opportunity? Want to talk?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so this is Ruben
Yes,
here.
Ruben.
So my question is that I've been involved in the software development industry for over 6 years back in Nepal, and so primarily as a developer, but in the last 2 years I was more involved in the management side of things, right? And now I'm here in Canada, but I'm here on a spousal visa, not currently enrolled in any colleges. So, but like at this time in my career, I am very much interested in switching away from software development and towards data and analytics. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. Software, yeah, data analytics, business analyst is also something that's kind of interests me right now. But the question is it too late in my career to switch? Number one, and Second, what would be the best route for me? And again, I'm already here in Canada, so like it's kind of I'm trying to figure out, what to do.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's
let
my
me take
question.
this. Yeah, let me take this question. Ruben, I see. Yeah, if you already have experience in software field, I see there is no kind of a big jump, or there is no kind of a big decision switching the career right now towards the software, sorry, the data, AI, or business analyst sort of fields. It's not a big jump actually. Eventually, you'll be leveraging your existing skill sets. Like you will be, let's say, even if you go to business analyst tomorrow,
Mhm.
you'll feel proud of yourself because you have domain knowledge. You'll be able to communicate with the data engineers, data scientists, and so on, and you'll be uniquely positioned compared to the one they're coming from business background without the having technical knowledge. So you will be molding yourself. The blend of technology plus business skill is really important. So if you are interested in business skills, I've seen a lot of progressions in those combinations. So I think, but to start with, to start a
Yeah.
career in Canada, I say start with whatever you already are experienced in. That would be a quickest way to start, and you always get an opportunity to maybe inter transfer bit inside a company. Maybe the company have some data teams as well. You can do inter transfer into the company. They will give you the highest opportunity or highest priority. And then also, if you could also get opportunity to get a sustain, and maybe instead of doing any kind of random jobs, you will get into the IT fields eventually. But like I said, try to focus on, if you get the business analyst job or intended jobs, definitely that's a first priority. But if you don't get a job, then whatever you are experienced with, start with that, and try to move around. That would be pretty easy for you.
Would you recommend me, maybe getting enrolled into a PG course, getting certifications? Would that be a better, idea?
Usually, if you already have experience in back home, I don't really recommend going to the PG courses. That doesn't
Mhm.
worth at all. And usually the PG courses are like a breeze in Canada. They're like usually if somebody want intend to come to Canada, it's acting like a breeze, and it's not giving real that value that you should get to go into the industry. So it's not giving the industry based kind of a real scenario knowledge. It's like more academic again. So I suggest to go with some sort of trainings or certifications, or maybe even internship. Maybe if you are switching the career, usually you have to start from small. Even myself, I was an Android
Yeah.
developer, web developer. I wanted to do the data and AI. I started from scratch again, but I was so quick that I already have foundation knowledge. So I was so quick to prompt to the top level. So that's the thing. But like I said, start with something, maybe internship or anything, but maybe start with trainings, any opportunities are we found in the market. But I really don't recommend going over the PG courses over trainings and certifications and so on. But maybe you can start building your certifications and start doing the trainings on online course and stand out yourself among the crowd in your resume or LinkedIn. And that's how a lot of recruiters look for you these days.
Okay. Thank
But
you so much.
second, PG, yeah, PG and other things could be second option, I suggest.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Anybody want to talk more, or we'll take other questions?
Uh, hello, hello, Ashis. So basically, uh, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
Praveen.
Yes.
So
Yes, we can.
I have the little bit different background. Like I'm in undergrad right now, and I just wanted to know that is the certification like sensible enough to take right now, or I should take it like after graduating. And the second question is like I'm also planning to move to Canada for the study or in the same IT field. So will you advise me to apply for any PG courses and move on to the Canada, or simply apply any jobs and move?
That's a really good question. Everybody is having, I think a lot of people are having right now. But like I said earlier, I was suggesting, I think Ruben, right? Ruben, I was suggesting Ruben, but Ruben was already in Canada. That's why I suggested him to take a second priority for the PG courses. But if you are coming to Canada, if you are not there yet, then PG could be the fastest and easiest way right now because Canada is bringing a lot of international students right now. So it's Canada. It's like a sure shot um, kind of a visa these days, I can say, but it's not 100%, may not be 100%, but it's like almost 100% visa. So to transition into or to breeze your way to come to Canada, then PG would be one of the option. But ideally, if you get chance to get the masters, that's the first priority. If not, going like usually masters are expensive, but if you want to come to Canada fast, then PG could be an option. But if you want to come to Canada without spending a lot of money, uh, uh, then if you already have some experience on, and if you want, if you can stand out yourself, then applying the job and getting the offer from there could be also one of the option. But I like usually that's like overall, I can say there are 2% to maximum around 5% of people they're coming like that, and it's not because offering a job offer for candidate who are staying abroad is against LMIA. There is a concept called labor market impact assessment, LMIA. Like usually company need to get approval from government to hire international candidate because it's against the local people here, or it's against the citizens or permanent residents here. So that's why they don't usually offer unless there are some LMIA based job available. There are very few options available, but I sorry for that. So but I say there are options as well. But you can definitely prioritize with that option if it works out. Could take time, but you'll get without less with the less hassles. But if you don't, target for masters. If not, target for PG. Or if not, even there are options like people usually coming as a visitor visa, and there are options these days come to Canada and apply target for the jobs. If they give you the job opportunities here, you can convert to work permits as well. Or even there are options like PR. If you have a time, you can apply for express entry and wait for a time. Eventually, you could get that as well.
Yep. And even so, I think we forgot to mention that we have a applicant assessment framework wherein like Ruby or any experience will go through that application assessment thing, right? And it's we cannot address all the questions here, right? So this is just a starting point. If you want to really are very intentional and really want to pursue the IT field, I think we should go in one-to-one personalized training consultation. So this is just a starting point. So if you want to get into that, let's connect in the LinkedIn, or you have our email. You can reply back to the email so that we can further discuss this thing, right? So that's about it. We have already gone 15 minutes more. We have one more slide, and there are a lot of questions. So I'll just quickly go through all the questions, and I will ask our speakers to make it short and sweet this time. Another question from Nishit Shetty is, if I want to pursue career in business analyst coming from non-technical background, what should be my base knowledge to begin this career in Canada?
Okay, if you want to pursue career, sorry, I was a little bit distracted. So you want to do Korean business analyst and coming from non-technical background. Okay, so if you are a business analyst coming from non-technical background, then the best important thing, like I mentioned, is start taking knowledge on the BI tools in the market. At least like business, being a business analyst, like it's not necessary towards the data analyst. So business analyst might be some of the company they hire as a Scrum masters. You might need some certifications like certified Scrum Master, like our Suya guy is also and some certified Scrum Master there. You can always reach out to him and ask him questions if you need it. But to give you a quick answer, if you are not from technical background, if you are pursuing business analyst courses, then having the Scrum Master related courses or doing certifications on that, and or basically it's more about the project management. Usually business analysts are hired as a project manager as well in the companies, but that could also be one of the option. But project managers or product managers and so on are hired as a business analyst in the market. But I think you can get without a non-technical background as well. But improve yourself in project management things and have a domain knowledge. Like I said earlier, domain
So
knowledge
you
is
can
important.
connect with me, Nishit Sethi, in the LinkedIn. And I can show you the career path that I have taken so far. I was working as a business analyst in one of the top company in Nepal, and I am working as a senior data analyst here as well, business analyst here as well. So you can connect with me in LinkedIn. We will put all the LinkedIn handles in the chat, so you can connect there and we can discuss further. Going to the another question.
One quick thing. I was
Sure.
thinking,
Sure.
why don't we let David to talk quickly before we
Yes.
take the question? But we are taking a little bit more time, guys. If you are okay with 5 to 10 more minutes, we are okay. But we are yet to go to other event, but we're okay as long as
Yes.
you stay for net 5 to 10 minutes. We're okay to take your questions.
Yes. Okay.
Maximum 10
So
minutes.
before even going to the question, let me introduce you some dynamic person in our company. We have David Laurie, who is a COBOL developer. If you can imagine, there's mainframe wherein they need a programmer, and that's a COBOL programmer 40 years back maybe. And from that field, he is working as a sales executive here with 40 years of experience solid in IT field. And this guy has everything. He is the charm of our company. And I would really appreciate if David can speak a short 2 minutes for our audience. David, floor is yours.
Excellent. Good afternoon, everyone. I am David Lowry. I live just outside of Toronto. And as Suga just mentioned, I'm the sales rep for Dlytica. The advice I could pass on to anyone who wants to work in IT in Canada is never stop learning. Your certifications, your degrees, extremely important. As is mentioned earlier, they get 100 resumes for every particular opening. Employers in Canada and the United States will do a first look through the resumes. Who's got the most advanced degrees? Who has the most certifications? Are they relevant to what our needs are? And how much experience does this person have? And have you kept pace with technology? I started many years ago looking at IBM, working with IBM mainframes. Today that is called legacy and is no longer a career you'd want to pursue. There's nothing distributed about it. Old languages that are still out there are being converted to modern object-oriented languages or low-code, no-code products. People who get the jobs, who are accepted into the upper limits of management, are people who are ahead of the curve, people who have never stopped learning, who are embracing technology and advancing in technology. Once you have your graduation, you graduated, you have a diploma, and you have a starting position, never stop. Keep ahead of technology, ahead of the curve, learn and stay on top of what's happening in your particular sector. Someone did ask a little while ago, how can you get experience when not getting a job, and how do you get a job with experience? Very old question. One thing that I found helpful is to do some volunteer work. Put that on your resume. You volunteered for a nonprofit, for a charity, for a political party, something like that, a hospital foundation, giving them your services, even for no pay. That looks very good on a resume. Someone else asked about what else do you put on a resume? Not your hobbies, not your date of birth or your parents' names or anything else. Stick to your skills, your education, and any charitable work that you've done, whether it's for a nonprofit, a charity, or a government organization. I hope I don't take too much of your time. As required, I would just say keep ahead of the technological curve And even if you're trying to get into IT and you don't have an IT background, you have a business background, engineering background, I worked on hundreds of projects in a lifetime. And a lot of the people I worked with were not IT people. They were driving the project. They were the business analysts. They had the domain knowledge. I worked for a number of stockbrokers, banks, insurance companies, and the people driving the projects had degrees in commerce, economics, finance, that type of thing. And I worked in manufacturing companies where the people driving the business were the engineers, the mathematicians, that type of thing. Domain knowledge exceedingly important if you're not in the IT bracket itself. So I'll turn it back over to Ashis and Suga, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. It was wonderful having you here, and like I said, I think you are the heart of the Dlytica. Every time people see Dlytica, I think David is the front face, and he really excel at what he do. So I think we are already 20 minutes over. There are a lot of questions in the chat as well. Shall we take only two and then just wrap up the webinar, Asis or Nitis?
Sure, let's do that. Yeah, let's
Okay.
take next two. Sure.
Okay, sure. Let's make it short and sweet. Let's wrap up in 10 minutes. And if you have any question or any, like, if you want to know more, you can visit us at www.dlytica.com, or you can just search Dlytica Inc. in the LinkedIn. You can message us there and then we can take it further. Thank you. The next question is from Pankaj Mehta. I'm pursuing my PG in big data analytics. I have switched to this from a non-computer background. I have no experience. So with just a course and certain certification which I am working on, how easy or tough will it be to get a job in the field, ID field?
Yeah, let me take this question again. So I have seen a lot of circumstances and a lot of possibilities that you come from non-technical background and work in IT fields. That's common practice here in Canada and US, especially in those countries. Like you don't necessarily need to have background on techs, or you don't necessarily need to have bachelor's degree in tech and so on. So you can always move back and forth, and every businesses or like companies allows you to work irrespective of your non-tech background. So that's the very much important thing. And but the thing is, if you are not from non-tech background, you will feel struggle, little bit struggling on initially to get into that base. But if you get yourself, I mean, there will be no one better person than you in the market. So because you have studied that you wanted and you studied, but there are other circumstances that college teaches them and they studied. So it's a different thing. So just not having the bachelor's degree or degree in bachelor's degree in non sorry IT background doesn't add most values. So basically, but if you have no experience at all, then I think, like I said, if you are targeting the big data, then cloud is must these days, because most of the companies are moving to cloud. Even by Dlytica is working, helping a lot of companies out there to migrate their solutions to the cloud. So that being said, every business is going to the cloud. So cloud is skill is must, and you should always combine your skill set, whatever you have, with the cloud. Then that stand out, and especially in big data, that's for sure you require it. Have a cloud experience, have some Python experience, like I said, do the pet projects, do contribute to the companies, maybe volunteer any non-profit companies out there in Canada, um, by saying, hey, I want to build something for you. Maybe I can build some analytics for you, and do you help us? That could be some lot of situations like that. You could have yourself in the company, that you can show in your resume or do things like that. But always experience is not only the thing that you can show.
Yes, thank you for the answer, Asis. So there is one guy called Samir who wants to know about our formation of Dlytica. How do you open the startup like Dlytica IT startup in like Dlytica in Canada? I think Let's get connected in the LinkedIn, Samir. We can hopefully answer a question there. Another the last question for the day. Is from Amrita. The training or support you would be providing would be targeting a particular role, for example, data engineer, or would that something applicable for all the job title presented today? Are those jobs based on hierarchy? To be data engineer, does one need to have a skill as data analyst first, and so on?
So training support would be providing. So with that, Amrita, can you explain that question again? I was looking for other questions and I didn't get exactly what she was saying. I was bit distracted. Can you explain? Can you
So
read that question again, please?
sure, if Amrita is there, she can unmute the mic
Yeah,
and speak.
yeah,
Do you
that
want
would
to do
be
that?
that would be nice as well if you can, if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Well, this was a lovely presentation. Well, I just wanted to know, like, for example, the training that you would be providing, would that be related to a particular field, for example, data engineer? But there were like other job um, designations that were also presented today, right? Like data engineer, data analyst, and so on. So would that be the training that you would be providing? Would that be applicable for like one job, or would that be good for all? Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
That's a good question. So we have a persona-based training. There are like we do the training as per the job requirement. Like let's say there are few popular jobs right now, like data engineering, data science, or data analytics, business analytics, DevOps, or fully stack developer. So we have multiple options depending upon the instructor availability and the basically instructor is not just an instructor. Like I said, it's a industry practice that we do. We have to have our developers, the data. If we are training for data engineering, then our data engineers would do the training. So it means our data engineers should be available from the projects. So as long as if you have availability, we do launch the training. We do provide you the trainings and pass you through the path. I think that answers
Okay.
your question.
Yeah, and would that also be, sorry for asking one like question, like would that also be for someone who does not have like prior IT experience or may have lost touch with the IT field? Yeah, thank you.
For that, what we have done is we have a foundation kind of a knowledge, foundation levels. We have three different levels. One is a foundational levels, one is the advanced level, and one is the capstone level. So usually foundation level is the something that we try to give a training on for those who doesn't have that experience or who are not from IT background, or maybe we'll try to assess their interest, assess their current knowledge, and try to feed into the foundation first before they jump into the other level, so that they will get necessary knowledge they needs to, and they will get motivated as well. Amrita, I think that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Amrita.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. We have one more slide, which is a bonus slide for you guys. I think it will be taken by Yes. So yes, so this is your slide. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Suyagya. Yeah, hello, guys. Arriving in Canada, we share common aspiration of a secure future. We are determined to work hard for a better tomorrow, whether it's a security guard in a restaurant or a rigorous factory labor. Every job requires a certification in Canada. You have options. Your options are diverse, spanning beyond just the IT jobs. But it is you decide your path. You be doing the security job, bartender, the farming, factory labor, or the IT jobs. So for you all guys who are taking that we have a prior experience on some field, we have something, we are new to something, we have the answers to all. That is, we are launching the Leading2AI program from September 4, and it will be divided into every sector. Like you are a beginner, you can take the advanced course. If you are the big have some prior experience, you can go to the other section. So I'll provide you the link in the chat box itself. You can apply there for the, and if you have any queries, you can contact me personally. I'll provide you my WhatsApp number and my email address in the chat box. So that's all for me. Thank you.
So that will be the last slide, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Even in the weekend, you are guys are committing to it. That shows you are intentional about your dream job. I think we can help you and bring a platform so that you can make a smooth transition to your IT career job. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. It was pleasure having you all here. Thank you and have a great weekend. Bye bye.
And we are always excited to hear from you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our contact details that we provided
Contacts.
there in our social media and so on. And Yash is our internship manager. You can always reach out to him, possible, chase him, guys. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.